Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie.
Good afternoon, Doc. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
You know, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as they say, and it really seriously is. Any day the sun is shining this brightly in January in Kansas City, I'm on it.
I'm going to be in the 40s, I do believe. It's either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
So-
okay. Sunshine, I can even do COLD sometimes if it's just sunny, so that's okay with me.
How do you pronounce that? COLD.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you. I don't even want to say it out loud. Happy New Year to you. That's a cute background behind you.
Yeah, I've just been doing a little video YouTube stuff, and I left that. Well, you know how much I love blue, so I just left that up.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah,
But I could
fantastic.
I could change the background because we have to, of course, go through our National Day of. For anybody that doesn't know or has been new, they get to experience lots of National Days of for January 10th, 2022.
Wow, fantastic. That is wonderful to see. So what is January 10th, Doc?
Okay, shall we start with the good or the bad?
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Well, let's start and be patriotic. Today is Save the Eagles Day, the National Save the Eagles Day. Magnificent looking creatures. My little story with eagles, we used to live in Iowa, and they were all over the place. We lived out in the country, and they were all over the place. They hung out. Iowa's notorious for pig farms.
Okay.
And we were downwind from a pig farm. Whew.
Most amazing experiences.
Yes, I did. That was an amazing experience, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But the eagles would just fly around, and it was just, first glance, because I'm from Chicago, you don't see a bald eagle in Chicago, and Jim and I are like, they were just all over. They're just magnificent.
Are they endangered, as in protected, or?
I do believe so.
Okay.
I do believe so. I have not done a lot of research on that, but I do believe so.
I just didn't know if they're on that list that we can't shoot anything because they're going to disappear or whatever that looks like. But I didn't know if they're endangered or they're just not around as much anymore, whatever the deal is. Migratory beasts as they are.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So we'll start, be patriotic, and then we're going to jump to a National Bittersweet Chocolate Day.
Oh my God.
And bittersweet, I'm just a wealth of information today. I'm doing really good for Monday, because you know how I don't wake up until Friday at 5.
Yeah, Mondays are usually not your day. Oh my goodness, yes, you are a wealth of information. That plethora thing is going on.
That plethora, yes. Don't ask me to spell that. Yeah, bittersweet chocolate. I used to be I was a baker, a mini chocolatier, I'll say. And a chocolatier is somebody that does chocolate candy, basically, or anything chocolate. Bittersweet chocolate is 70% and above cacao, which actually is really cocoa. They interchange it. The higher the percentage goes up, the lower the sugar, but the higher butter fat. So it's kind of like, do you want sugar or do you want fat?
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm always so proud when I can find a 90% cacao thing, and I'm going, cool, I can eat this all day long. Apparently I might as well just rub it on my thighs.
Well, the bittersweet chocolate, and the higher the amount, the percentage, the healthier it is. A lot of people think, oh, I can just eat chocolate that's healthy. No, it's that sugar piece that kind of gets in the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
and sugar is more addictive
then.
than cocaine. So, yeah, bittersweet chocolate. Happy National Bittersweet
Sugar
Chocolate
is more
Day.
addictive than cocaine.
Yes, 80 times
Holy
more.
moly.
Yep.
That does not sound good. Okay. Wow.
So anybody, I'd love to hear who loves bittersweet chocolate. If you're like Queenie, or if you're like Doc, I'll eat anything, I personally like almonds in my chocolate, and usually they don't make it too bittersweet, but chocolate is good. And then actually, this is the kind I buy. This is the Goudard. I do believe that's the way you pronounce it. It's French. I never took French. I took Spanish. So this is the Goudard out of San Francisco. They call these wafers. And this is what I use to melt to make my my truffles at Christmas time.
Oh,
So-
wow.
So, okay, so last picture, we have 2 more to go. So
Okay.
last picture, ready?
I don't know.
Happy
My,
National Oyster Rockefeller Day. I know, but there's stuff, at least it's not just straight oysters there. Those actually.
Those
I
are
have to
actually-
admit, they look good.
yeah, that I wouldn't go that far, but they at least look attractive. They look appetizing until you know what they are.
Yeah, I used to eat oysters as a kid, but I got wise as an adult. I won't touch them now. I'm just,
Oh
no,
my
not
goodness.
for me.
Yeah. That is that, but like I say, that plate, that's beautiful presentation, which is always my thing. But like I say, once I'd say, oh my gosh, this is lovely. What is it? That's not happening. Mm-mm. No,
Yeah, I guess we won't go out for oysters, huh?
you are correct, Dr. Laura. That is
Oysters and beer.
yeah. No, neither one of those sounds like a plan to me, but thank you
No,
so much for the offer. The
Sure,
only thing I like on that table that I can see those plates is the lemon.
the lemon, and I do believe that's parsley. So that's the
Oh, is it?
to
Okay,
cleanse
I
your
can do
breath.
parsley. Yeah, I can do
And
parsley. Yeah.
detox.
I could do
So-
that, but the rest of it, no, thank you. National Oysters Rockefeller Day. Okay.
Yes. And then lastly, and I could not find, you would think you can find anything on the internet. Well, I could not find, well, I guess I probably could have. It's Clean Off Your Desk Day.
Oh, actually, yes, I saw that. Yeah. Clean
So-
up your desk day, declutter day, that whole thing, exactly right.
Yes. I cleaned off my desk yesterday and guess what? It's not clean anymore.
Oh, okay. So it was a very quick clean. Is that the problem?
Well, it wasn't intended to be a quick clean, but I've already had a couple of Zoom calls this morning and I've been working on things. And so I spread out. I'm the person that has the pieces of paper all over the place, the notes all over the place and knows exactly where everything is, even though it looks like a mess. How about you, Queenie?
Judging by your face, Dr. Laura, apparently you feel that my desk being clean constantly is a problem. So,
No. That's good tea.
yes, I have a stand over here, like a little, it's called a typing stand, if you can imagine, but I never got rid of it because it was so handy. So when I'm doing my trainings like this, I can glance over here to make sure I'm not forgetting anything that would be pertinent to whatever I'm doing. So I have a stand here always ready to go at the ready. And then the rest of this stuff is electronic cords and things like that. But I really don't have everything is on my computer or my phone. So I don't have physical paper much anymore. And when my clients get their water machines, obviously I shred the document, but if we do have to do a paper application, then that is usually just filed here once they've gotten delivered and processed and installed and all that stuff. I don't need the document anymore. So I keep all of that flowing pretty accurately. And then some of my props I do keep on my lighting stands in case I need them. So I have everything super close by. And
It's cold in your house, isn't it?
yeah. Yes, actually not as cold as it has been. If it's above zero, it's not so bad in here. When it's below zero, all these windows, it's like, oh my gosh, too cold, that's for sure. But National Declutter Clean Off Your Desk Day, that is actually a great idea while everybody's making their goals and resolutions and revelations and reassignments and all the things they're doing. That's kind of this is good timing for that.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, it's a 3-part question and it kind of ties into that declutter.
Okay.
So success is built on how you set it up, timing, and consistency. So what does the setup look like for you? What is your opinion of a setup for a business? What would be a few key pieces that would help somebody be successful in their goal for 2022? How was that? Was that a good question or
That's
what?
a very
Queenie?
good question. Absolutely. And of course, for me, it is multifaceted, of course. Do you know everything you can know about your product or service? Or do you know everything you can know and keep learning about networking? Or do you know everything you can and learn as you go when it comes to implementation? So anything on a success journey for me is multifaceted. Do you learn how to network first and then go do it? Or do you just jump in? Do you learn about your product and decide it's a good fit for you, or just jump in and say, this is cool? So for me, it would have to be kind of a mixture of both. I am not that person that gets ready to get ready. I push a button, get started and go, that didn't work. Let's try something different. And what about you, Doc? Do you get ready to get ready, or do you just jump in?
I jump in and then backtrack if I, backtrack, punt, pivot, like we've talked about over and over. Okay, this doesn't work, then I'll look this way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. My business is cyclical in some ways, but it's also changing. I mean, it's kind of all over the place, so I have to punt and pivot depending on what's going on. But yeah, I've learned to just jump. I'm an A kind of personality, so I've learned to, I just jump in. I'm not happy sitting on the sidelines.
I definitely wouldn't be happy sitting on the sidelines, but my personality type would lend itself to have people think I do a lot of preparation. And the reason that that is not actually true is I have seen people crash for getting ready to get ready. And I do not have that kind of time. And so when I see something or a networking event or something, well, let's use Delinda Lane, our fantastic Fun Fearless Female global community of Christian women leader. When she started her meetup group in Kansas City, and I think it's 5-ish years ago, I have been on meetup since 2007. And so every time a new something pops up about networking in greater Kansas City, because I've got that set up, I think, for even 100-mile radius at this point, and back in the day when we were actually in person. And so when Delinda set up her Fun Fearless Female meetup the very first time in Kansas City, it popped up on my thing, a new event. Well, duh. And so I checked it out and I went through the list of attendees. I didn't know one single person on there. And I thought, hot diggity dog, I'm going. And I did. And oh my gosh, the rest is history. Then there are other people who see, oh my gosh, I don't know anybody, so they don't go.
Oh no. Yep.
And right. And so I am not that person. I'm going after it. And I would not be that person to sit on the sidelines either. But my jump is strategic for sure.
So the second part of that question, timing. How does timing tie into success?
Timing for me is totally all about God. If my prayer every single day, which it is, put me in the path of someone who needs me, the timing is up to him. My schedule is a nightmare in a good way as far as complex and full, but I feel that he knows exactly who needs me, or I certainly need them to learn from, to teach, to help, to grow, whatever that looks like. And so timing for me is always him. I never know where I literally wake up every day and say, where are we going? And now, of course, the schedule is delegating that. But the timing for me, it's never, ever been wrong when I have God do my driving.
Right. And that's basically the same for me.
Yeah.
I usually take, I've done a lot of punt and pivot over the past 2 years. And I know things will change if it's not meant to be.
Absolutely.
And I also know whatever success too, just to comment on success doesn't have to mean money and status and you're at the top of the ladder. I mean, success some days when it's cloudy and cold out could be just rolling out of bed.
Yeah.
When you feel like, like, okay, it's 20 below.
Yeah. If I get
snow.
up,
Yeah.
You're right. If I get up today, score is just like, okay. And that is not always the case. If all those things that we don't like to talk about are outside happening. But that really is a cool thing. The timing for me is his timing is always perfect. And when people say the Lord's timing is perfect, for me, that's not cliche. That is a real serious deal.
It's a real deal.
Who are you going to meet
Because
today?
he has a plan for us every day.
Oh my,
I mean,
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Okay, so the last part of that question, the third part, and I know this is your word for the year, is consistency. So that really kind of ties it all together when you're talking about the setup and being intentional and how you approach everything. It's consistent, no matter our meetings, whether it's online networking or in person or whatever's going on, that changes. But like you said, if we know our product, if we know how to network, if we know all of these different little pieces that go into the setup, you will be successful.
Consistency.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Consistency for me, that's the strategic piece. And the random haphazard is definitely not my DNA either. When I jump into a group, I jump in with both feet. If I find it's not working for me from a standpoint of growth, personal development, learning new things, not necessarily meeting new people. I wouldn't mind if I go and there's 50 people every single week, month, year, whatever you do, and it's the same 50. That's not a downer for me. That is until I have met all of their friends, I'm not finished yet. So even though I might know those 50 people very well, the next 50, the next layers of theirs is where I would consistently go back and back to that meeting again. If it's strategically planned, if it's well run, if it's organized, if I learn something every single time. Sometimes you learn what not to do actually, but that's fine for me as well. But consistency, I have seen people, this is always just a funny thing to me. You know, that networking stuff that you do, honey, I tried that once and it doesn't work for me. And I'm always just like, yeah, exactly. I went to a networking group. It didn't work for me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so networking full-time since 2007 has been seriously the highlight of my business life. So consistency rocks. What is behind you? Oh my gosh.
That actually is a river down in Florida. My girlfriend and I were on a glass bottom boat. And let's see if I can get my pointing down. I always do this. Let's see. Behind me, the island the other way. There were some alligators off to the side. We were glad we were in a big boat. We were in a big boat with a lot of people. So I don't know if that scares them away. I don't know. But they were sunning themselves and they were probably 12 to 15 feet long.
Oh my God.
But this actual river, and of course at the moment I want to say, I think it's Crystal Springs, but I can't remember. They filmed some of the James Bond movies on the bottom of it, and they still left, there were some statues or something in one of the movies, and they still left the statues down there. So we actually got to see where they had the filming, and it was in this particular river.
Oh my gosh, now that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So just I was down there. I want to say this was in April. I've been down there so much. I'm like, everything is running together. Which month was it that because we always, when I go down there, we always have 4 or 5 things we do, and I only stay for a week. so it's,
that's a lot of cramming things into, that's for sure. That's a 7-day stretch is pretty short when it comes to all the stuff you guys do.
Well, it's kind of jump in with both feet.
Yeah, seriously.
So
that really is cool. And I didn't know the statue story. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So, but
so let me flip it back to you, Doc. What does the consistency piece do for you? I would think, especially with your gardenery business, that you'd have to be consistent or you're going to have a big old flop on your hands.
Yes. And as you know, I'm not telling you anything new. We have to keep it out there, keep our business out there, whether it is a business post on social media or not. Like last night, I'm of course in love with Instagram Reels, and last night I posted a 15-second. That was our dinner. We had veggies that we threw in a bowl, and we just spun the bowl as I filmed it, added some music, and posted it. But my viewership has gone up. This past month, I've reached over 13,000 people. And for a go person, it's fun. It's exciting to see that. So consistency, especially with Instagram, if you're consistent in posting, you can keep those numbers up and they keep climbing. And when I started this, I'm trying to think, was it August last year?
I feel it was recent, wasn't it? Like just 6 months ago? Yeah.
About 6 months. I had 89 or 85 followers, and I'm ready to break 300. And it just has consistently, and it's that consistent. So yeah, consistency for me, especially with the gardening, is, hey, I'm here. Whether it's you want me to show up at your house and design something new, or you have an issue, or you want to replan, or, it's all about gardening and food. And if you want to know what carrots do to you, then my naturopathy gets tied into that. But
What are carrots good for? I bet I know. Yeah, that's a funny thing. And when you talk about numbers, it is, for me, it is overwhelming what you just said, that the social media piece plays such a huge part of our businesses. And we've talked about before, I'm looking actually for my most recent, I posted about our anniversary party for one of the groups I'm in, and it was last Thursday. And all I did was literally, wouldn't it be fun if, and hope you can join us. Oh no, I haven't even looked since today. My gosh, this actually scared me. I posted last week, would you like to join us for a free celebration of our 1-year anniversary for Happy Neighborhood Project Iowa? All I did is a picture. The girl, one of our co-hosts, created the meme or the photo, I guess you would say. It's dynamic, actually. And I'm sure it caught a lot of people's attention because Anna Tuchin did a great job. Well, my record for my views on LinkedIn since I started all these posting parties last January, I think it was, my record was 1,100. And that was a couple weeks ago when I posted about Philomena Moncour's birthday. She's one of our mentors for Happy Neighborhood Project. I got up to 1,100 because I said, please join me in wishing Philomena a happy birthday. And I thought it was because I had Philomena's name in there. So of course I would be using it again, haha. And so this time when I did the Iowa celebration thing, I just this second checked 1,394 views. That is now my record. Before it was my dead plant that got the most views. And now it is our Iowa testimonial for 1,394 views. I am telling you what, Doc, you are fabulous at Instagram. I love LinkedIn. Facebook is fine. Twitter is great. There's a million different nuances. And I feel that just like we talked about last week, YouTube kind of wraps all of those up in a bow. And it's just back to that same thing. Consistency is
and making
vital.
people aware, the biggie is making people aware that we're out there.
Yep.
Like I saw one of your posts today, you're asking to hit 1,000 people on your YouTube channel.
Yep.
I'm asking for 100. And it's just, hey, just go to my channel and subscribe.
Absolutely.
We're not asking for money. We're not asking for anything. Just it's all about connection.
And for me, the purpose for the subscribing thing is I was trying to hit 100 during 2020, I guess, when the pandemic was shut down stuff. And I was trying to hit 100 because I was, by golly, going to capture my own URL. And that's the first step for being able to do that. Well, then once you hit 1,000, you can start monetizing your YouTube channel. Well, that's ducky. I don't personally, that's not my focus. I want to hit 1,000 because that would be 1/10 of our co-op subscribers. And that's what I want to do. The co-op's going to be 10,000. I'm sure that's going to happen probably before the end of the year. But 1/10 of those people will be subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I mean people in the world, because everyone can join. And it's back to that same thing, consistency, top of mind, all of the things that we want to be for our companies. Now think about this, because this kind of makes me a little bit nuts when people say, I didn't do very well last year, and they start doing their taxes and putting all their books together and get everything ready for the CPAs and all those things. I get that. Put it all together. Well, all of a sudden you're adding up those numbers, and here's your deductions, and here's your this, and here's your expenses and all those things. I didn't do very well last year. And I'm always like, what will you do differently this year? Well, where's the plan? I can't not be consistent. I can't not be successful. I can't not sell water machines. It has to happen. And so it's just interesting to me that everyone starts doing their taxes and they find out their numbers are not what they wanted to be. That can't be a surprise. I mean, seriously, what did you do last year that caused that, or didn't do last year? It can't be a surprise.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Well, and networking is not an overnight, like you always say, you didn't become an overnight success of 14 years.
Yeah, I love that.
And as we all know, it's who you know, and it's keeping your company and your name and your face in front of people. One of my little goals for this year, outside of my word is inspiration, but one of my goals is to, for my business, is to be the Kansas City Metro gardening expert. Because gardening is, everybody's starting to go, I think we might need to garden because prices are going up, and, there's shelves that are empty in the store, that kind of thing. And also, I would love to put the Kansas City Metro on the map.
Yeah, and see, that's a perfect goal right there. To have you gardenery expert in Kansas City, quite frankly, does not sound unreachable. But to put Kansas City on the map as being the gardening mecca, that's a different conversation. And that's very lofty, because I don't think people instantly think of Kansas City as a gardening spot.
Right. But we always talk, we're the center of the country. We're the heart of America. We have all of those little, why not make it the gardening, a gardening center?
Absolutely.
So,
and that is, and think of that as a goal. And for those of you listening with us today, first of all, thank you for being part of our Doc and Queenie community. But think also bigger, bigger, bigger. Just like Doc said, she's going to have Kansas City be the gardening mecca, maybe for the world, but certainly for the country. We hit, and this was actually in our newsletter, because I'm a Kangen Water groupie junkie person. And so when our newsletter comes out every month, one of the first things that it said on the cover page of our magazine is we have now got 1% saturation in California with Kangen water. Now, pardon the double entendre for the saturation thing, but what that means is 1 in every 100 homes in California has a Kangen water machine. Now, that to me, especially when you think of the population in California, is phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So my goal, of course, I want 1%. Let's go 2, 3, 5% saturation in Kansas City Metro, Midwest even. And let's think about that too, because just like you were mentioning, with the food that we're going to have to grow our own for a million reasons, and then the shelves being not stocked, who wants to run out of bottled water again? Plus, no offense, who wants to drink that stuff? But bigger than that, that gorgeous water behind you is probably not what somebody would want to drink. So you would certainly want to be able to have it filtered, purified, ionized, whatever that looks like for you. This can happen. If we hit 1% saturation in Kansas City, I want to be on the cover of that magazine, Our City, Not My Face, because I really want to show people 1% saturation in the Midwest would be amazing.
Oh gosh, yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't be drinking out of this river.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
You already knew that ahead of time, didn't you?
Yeah, not going to fish in that river. Definitely not swim in that river. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. This just came in my head. What does an alligator eat? And I realize the answer is probably anything they want, but what would be bait for an alligator?
I guess fish. I never really paid attention. I mean.
Okay. Well, I saw an Instagram or something recently where they were throwing something into the river, and the alligator was chomping after it, like
it might be chicken or something. They'll throw meat in there.
Oh, okay, chicken. Okay, because I was just wondering what their mode or their.
I was going to say something, but I don't want to see you cringe, so we won't talk about.
Thank you. I'm sure it's raw or disgusting of some kind.
Yeah, I just
guts, but that's why I was just wondering when you said. In the river, and there were actually alligators there. You are a brave.
Yeah, they were sunning themselves. It was, we saw it from a distance because the boat, the guy kind of, went on the opposite bank, which was fine. So,
wow.
But getting back to our success and those points, like you're saying, having different levels of goals. And then I always hang on to, and we've heard it numerous times, success is when you fail, you stand up again. That's being successful. And we're gonna fail. I mean, failure I look at as being a learning experience. What do you take from, something not working out? Was it I had too high of an expectation? Or like you were saying earlier, people that get to the end of the year and start doing their taxes and go, I didn't make much money. Have they thought about turning and looking back and going, well, I could have done this better, or I could improve this, or maybe I need to set new goals, or whatever. There's lots of little details, but success is always get up after, if there's a failure or something happens, or get up or punt and pivot. Maybe that's more appropriate, because we talk about punt and pivot so many times. I can't say that.
Well,
So.
and people talk about fail forward, and that's always a biggie for me too. I don't ever consider my, shall we say, disasters as necessarily failure, because I learn probably more from those than I have learned from some of my largest success stories. So fail forward is okie dokie with me. I don't have an issue with that. This kind of kills me that we're not too terribly close to the end yet, but these times with us being together go so quickly. I would like to invite everyone listening to a lot of our workshops and parties that are coming up. And tomorrow, Michelle Cruz with Legal Shield and Coffee Club is hosting a recommendation party. If you don't know what a recommendation party is yet, it's an opportunity for using your LinkedIn recommendation feature to your best benefit. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So connect with Michelle. I'm sure she'll put her info here in the comment section. And then on January 18th, no, that's not right, January 25th, can't keep my date straight. Okay, yes, the 25th, Michelle is hosting a YouTube training from a standpoint of all the different things that we have learned over these last couple of years, especially of what to do to get your YouTube channel where you want it. And that's going to be super fun as well, because I have YouTubed how to fix my YouTube channel. And once again, YouTube has not let me down yet. And then the dynamic Dr. Laura Christine is hosting a posting party on February 8th. So all of these are at 11 o'clock Central Time, by the way. And everyone in the world is invited to all of them, because I don't actually think I have a limit on the Zoom thing, but even if I do, it's 500, so we'll be okay. But the bigger issue is, think about the people who say, I don't know how to do that. So they just don't. I didn't know how to do a posting party. In fact, the first one I went to last year, I looked at the screen and watched the guy, and he goes, I hope everyone came prepared. And I'm like, nope. There were 86 people on this call, I think. So I'm just watching. I want to see the interaction. I want to see what's up. I watched the chat, and I wanted to see what a posting party was. Holy moly. Now I know what a posting party is. Hello, 1,394 views. And now I am offering those to whoever wants them for their groups. But it is phenomenal how cool you can make your reach if you just have a few little tweaks on your technique. I love that. What's behind your head now? Wow.
Well, we have all of those classes, master classes, we'll call them, which is phenomenal to help people. And we also have, we're just, beginning of the year reminders. We've done guest lives. We have guests that come on and talk about their business or their ministry. And yeah, I thought I'd put that up. We haven't talked about that in a while, but it's 15 to 20 minutes. You can share whatever you want. Queenie and I will just give you some softball throw questions like, hi, how are you? What is your name?
I can do that part.
Yeah. It's very easy. A lot of people are intimidated by the video live piece because it's live on Facebook, but we do it through Zoom, and it's super easy. And we leave Queenie doing that backwards there. We leave you in control of the ship, and so everything goes well. The only thing that we had once in a while, the internet goes down, but we're all used to that by now, right?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, all of a sudden you see this and it goes goodbye, and I'm like, OMG, that didn't go well.
Usually me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But
so
really
anytime it gets live, reach out. Yep. And then I see behind you, Queenie, we've got our Bible trivia, which Doc and Queenie do every Thursday at 7 p.m. And we always talk about, you don't have to be a scholar. And you and I have talked about, we have learned so much just in this trivia piece. It's on StreamYard platform, which really means that you can log in and you can answer online. We don't see your face or anything. And if you sign up, right, it'll show your name.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, sometimes we have somebody that doesn't sign up and it'll say Facebook user, and then we have fun trying to guess who it is without cheating.
Without cheating, that's
Without
right.
cheating. But yeah, Bible trivia on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. It's exactly 1 hour. We're not online for hours, and you'll learn a lot whether you're a scholar or not. It's a lot of fun. So yeah.
It seriously is. And being able to be part of the guest live piece has been so fun for so many people, because if you are not comfortable just being on a screen and saying, oh my gosh, I'm amazing, and so is my business, it's nice to have people to bounce off of. And so that part has been super fun, because not everybody is comfortable just literally doing a stand up and talk about yourself thing. So I think the guest live has been a very cool feature for that very reason, because you don't have to be the one promoting yourself.
Well, and then you give the people their basically the recording, and they can post it all over the place.
Yeah, and that works out great.
And I look at it, the least this gives you practice,
Yeah.
for whatever you want to share. I always say that, so, which it is, it's consistency. It's, it's all of those things, timing, setup, success.
I was just going to say, every single one of your questions rolled right into this. And that is seriously the fun part of being able to promote other people. Some people are great at edification. Some people can't yet. And so as soon as people learn that part, it really is cool to see how your network gets bigger, bigger, bigger. And that way do you know anybody who does what? And if your network is big enough, you know a lot of people who do several things. So I think it's just a blast.
Yes, definitely. I agree. So it looks like we're almost through here, huh?
Oh my gosh. Well, see, that's why
flies.
it does indeed. I'm not sorry to say goodbye to the Oysters Rockefeller thing, but everything else that we've talked about has been pretty cool. Learning about chocolate, whether it's sugar or fat. Yeah, that was my next topic. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking I'm doing good with 90% cacao, and I'm adding more butter fat to this body. That's a good idea.
Well, we do need fat for our brain health. So
we'll see that. There you go. Oh, I appreciate that so much. Now you've given me carte blanche permission.
Yeah, there you go. The doc says you can have some butter fat in your diet.
Oh, now it's going to be a good day.
Just run around the block a couple of times after.
That'll help. It would have to be the case for sure. I love
eat it before 6 o'clock, or you'll be up all night.
Yeah. That's why I need also is caffeine. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. All right, Doc. Well, it's time for you to take us home.
All right. Thank you, Queenie. And thank you everyone for checking out Doc and Queenie on Facebook Live at high noon every Monday. We would love to have you at our Bible trivia on Thursdays at 7 p.m. If not, just join us back here next Monday, whether it's on the replay or live. We'd love to have you. And please participate in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say, whether you like dark chocolate or not, or Oysters Rockefeller, or you just want to talk business. We'd love to hear from our faithful friends on purpose. Until the next time we meet, have a fantastic day and fantastic week. Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, Doc. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.